Is it a good idea to borrow from your 401k? Let's find out. Hi, I'm Alex Chalakian, your Learn Mentor. In 2020, the average US household credit card debt was over $6,700, and that same household on average will pay interest charges of over $1,100 in 2021. Recently, the average credit card APR was 16.28%, which means it's an expensive way to manage your purchases. But what if you currently have credit card debt at a high APR or want to make major purchases and don't have the funds available? Does it make sense to borrow from your 401k to pay off this debt or to make a major purchase? Let's take a look at the advantages and disadvantages of this financial decision. When you need to access the funds inside of your 401k, you should be able to borrow the money very quickly. As long as your retirement plan provider at work allows you to take loans, they will usually require very little paperwork, which can be completed in a short time frame. The second advantage is that unlike qualifying for another type of loan or credit card, there are no credit checks. So if you are concerned about your credit score, you don't have to worry. Third, the repayment of the loan is flexible and convenient. Automatic payments on your loan will be deducted from your paycheck, and you have the option to repay the loan quicker with no prepayment penalty. Fourth, your 401k plan will usually let you borrow at a very low interest rate. This rate is typically better than those found on credit cards or personal loans. Lastly, when saving towards retirement, it makes much more financial sense to borrow the funds from your 401k than take a withdrawal and possibly pay federal taxes, state taxes, and maybe an IRS penalty. Now let's discuss some of the disadvantages of borrowing from your 401k. If you leave your current job or get fired, you might have to repay your loan in full in a very short period of time. If you are unable to repay this loan, it's considered a distribution, which is subject to federal and state income taxes, as well as a 10% IRS penalty if you are under the age of 59 and a half. Second, you need to take into consideration the opportunity costs. The money you borrow will not benefit from the potential returns of your current 401k investments. Also, it's important to realize that many people who take loans also end up not contributing to the plan, which means you can lose out on more money in your 401k as well as matching contributions. Third, you might lose your financial cushion. For many, they might not have an emergency fund set aside, but have money in a 401k plan. For those, it would make more sense to keep the funds inside of the retirement plan as a last option emergency account instead of using it to pay off debt or purchase items. Lastly, and most importantly, borrowing from your 401k plan could encourage you to make bad financial decisions now and in the future. Borrowing from your retirement account to pay for major expenses is usually a red flag to financial planners. It's usually a sign that a client is overspending. And if they use the borrowed money to pay off a high-interest credit card, the problem becomes that they will continue to overspend and rack up more credit card debt, thus putting themselves back where they started. Unless you are totally out of other options, most financial planners will tell you that borrowing from your 401k plan is not the best financial decision. It's a good idea to take a step back and assess how you got into this situation in the first place, where you are contemplating borrowing from your retirement plan. Once you figure that out, hopefully it could help you avoid tapping into your nest egg in the future. Be sure to visit altruist.com/learn to learn more about finding an advisor and subscribe to get weekly videos and articles. And follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook to join the conversation.